Mic check 1 2 1 2. Can you hear me? Here we go. We got a hot one, Smoke and Scan. Is anyone getting notified here? Let's check the chat. YouTube, you sending out notifications? How about TikTok? We're live on several platforms. Uh-oh. We got some guests here. Let's turn it down a bit. What's up, Richard?
Norca, to the office, please. Thank you.
Looks like a stolen pickup truck here. I think he lost a tire front left. We might be rolling on a rim there. Yeah, someone got their notification. So did Roger. What's up, Roger? Roger's on point. Roger's always on point. And who else we got here creeping in up in the chat? Yeah, it's been a while, huh? Not since we've had police chases. It's been a while since we've been in the lab here. Yeah, we're finally in the studio. What's up? It was a beautiful evening in Fair. Oh, I bet. See, our friend Richard here is in lovely Alaska, far away from this stuff down south. But hey, maybe one day we'll go visit Richard up that way, see how cold it is up in Alaska. Yeah, it looks like they're headed Newhall Avenue, towards the pass, Newhall Pass, probably. I'm guessing here I see Newhall there. And it's 14 South. And I bet he's got a full tank. You know what? Norca sent me a notification of a TikToker. So you're watching that over on TikTok. I wonder how that is over there, watching some of these speed chases. Usually we watch it over here on YouTube. And our track's about to end there. Good. Forgot we had music playing. Dang it. All right, let's cut that off. Now you could just hear me. What up? Yeah. I wonder how it is over on the TikTok side. I'm sure it gets live over there. You know, TikTok's got their little style of doing things. But I hear, just today, YouTube, yeah, he is rolling on one rim. Looks like. I hope we're caught up here in the video. Not behind. Happens sometimes. We'll be behind in the speed chase. But yeah, they announced that they're I guess giving us more options to create with. I guess there's some new AI stuff. Yeah, let's AI. Of course, there's new AI stuff. Yeah, there's going to be a bunch of stuff if you haven't checked it out already. Yeah, thank you. This is better. We're trying over here. We're keeping an eye on the chase and keeping the conversation going, which is not easy. Let me tell you, it's been a while. I'm a little rusty. I'm like, do I remember how to do this stuff? Gotta get back in the groove here. Speaking of the groove, yeah, we got the audio system set up too. We're dabbling with that a little earlier. And yeah, so they got these new options and new things. So they're trying to catch up to TikTok is what it is. I see a lot of the things they're like bringing out is stuff that TikTok's already, been doing. So yeah, they have a lot of catching up to do, but it's still fun that they're doing that. And I guess it's cool. And we'll be maybe messing with some of that stuff. Sometimes they'll give certain people like the test try first. and then they'll either if they're going to release it, they'll release it out to everyone else, or they'll test certain countries or something like that. It's weird, but yeah, it sounds fun what they have coming out. So stay tuned to that. And yeah, it's super cool for people that are creating and those that are learning, like I. And let's see if YouTube giving you something. I bet they're taking more than they're. Oh yeah, I guess Richard. Let's let's have Richard on the show here. He has a lot to say. Um, yeah, I don't know if we got audio here. Let's see. Let's try and throw on some audio on this video here. What else? We got a little bit of Bigfoot
We
news
don't
we could
know
talk
that.
about.
CHP, Angelina on our desk letting me know right
All
now in
right,
my
here
ear,
we go.
telling us it was stolen out of Redlands. So we
Redlands.
are obviously very far from Redlands.
Oh,
Redlands
yeah.
out in the Inland Empire in
See-
San Bernardino County. Working on figuring out when that was, how long has
He had a
been the
full
gap
tank, I bet.
between, now and then.
Like
But
is
now we know
always
that
the
these
case.
officers, these
Seems
CHP
like.
officers that are chasing it, simply probably just picked up the stolen. It was not
How do they
necessarily
do it
something that they
with
witnessed
the
or
gas
a
prices
911
these
call or
days?
anything like that.
But so many questions still.
Scratch
Like,
my head.
are they armed or not? How many people
Right.
are
What's
inside
up,
this vehicle?
David?
We still don't know.
We
How
still
you
don't know
doing,
that.
buddy?
CHP
Haven't
doesn't know that
heard
either.
from you
And
in
I
a
believe,
minute.
Des, are we exiting?
Hope you're doing well. Did Bigfoot kidnap you for a while?
We're
What's
just
going
making the
on
transition
David?
here
Oh, sorry.
officially from the South
Good to hear from
14
you.
now, dumping us
Speaking
onto the
of
southbound
Bigfoot and
5,
kidnapping,
and
let's
you
get
see
into
the
it.
southbound
We're
Balboa
going to
off ramp.
talk
It looks
about
like it
that
was
tonight.
coded off for
Whether
construction right there.
some people believe that they don't
You can see the
do
truck
stuff like that,
the
but
truck
I
really
do.
kind of
We'll talk
listening at
about
this
that in a
point
bit.
now.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see how
And
much
now that
longer
I got
this
another look at
lasts.
it, it looks like it might be slightly lifted, Mike. It's
Yeah, I
not
got
like
some
one of
things
those
lined up.
crazy monster trucks or anything,
Yeah.
but maybe slightly. But it is just
in
kind
that
of
world
hard to
of
tell these days because
missing
these trucks have
people
just
and
got so
Bigfoot.
big. As far as just how
Is it
high
Bigfoot in a UFO? Could be. I
they
think
are,
about
frankly.
that.
So,
Like, damn.
yeah,
They're
but
coming down in
so
UFOs,
yeah, we've kind of
snatching
been going
people.
between 40 and 60 miles an hour, but
You never know.
we are
Look at that. He's kind of
solidly now
on a
into the
tilt
San
there. You
Fernando
can tell the
Valley, coming
front
up to the
tire
210
is
next, and then the
completely
118 and the
gone. I think there
405.
was some
So,
sparks earlier.
what's the
We might get
suspect
some more
strategy here?
sparks here.
Again, it just seems like
If
running
not,
out the
someone
clock. I
in
mean,
the
who
chat
knows if
spark it
they're
up.
under the
Let's get
influence
some
of something
sparks
or
going.
some
Can
other
we do
mental
that?
health
Let's see. How
issues
did we
behind
do
the
the
scenes
sparks
as
last
well.
time?
But
The
also
lasers
always
was like
aggravating for
this.
CHP with the pursuit tint. Super
All right, we
super
got
dark
some
windows.
lasers
Can't
going.
see what is going on inside, and again, no information
Gotta
about
remember how to
if this
do the
person is armed
sparks.
and dangerous. I will say that where you were talking about the canine unit
Bubba
there, Mike, and I
Sparks,
heard
where
the
you
dog
at?
actually barking on the radio. It sounds
Yeah.
like they already
Let's see
have
if we
that
get
dog
any
hyped up
updates
for
here.
potential. If the suspect gets out and runs, that dog is going to be ready and amped up to get out there and take the suspect down pretty quickly.
So, Mike, having a canine unit chase this pursuit, I'm wondering, is that a normal thing?
Got
Is
the
it because they were the
canines
closest ones?
ready
No,
to
they
roll.
specifically requested it. So
Uh-huh.
we've been listening. They
I'm
have
getting
specifically
drowned
requested
out.
the
Yes,
canine
when I
unit.
turn
And
up the
CHP's canine
volume,
functions
probably.
slightly differently than some of the other big agencies. Like, for
I'll
example,
keep it down
LAPD's
here. Oh,
canine,
you know what?
they have like I
Could
can't
be
remember exactly how many dogs, but 4,
this.
5, 6 dogs on a ship.
There we go. We'll try that. So right here on the audio face, I have a volume for the video there. So in my head, I'm thinking if I turn the volume down here, y'all can't hear it. But I forget that actually that's just for my headphones, I believe. And you can hear both the video and me. So that's why I was getting drowned out. We'll turn that down and keep it down. Sorry about that. I'm telling you, we're getting back into it. We're easing back into this live streaming stuff. At least we got something exciting for you to look at here, Richard. But I appreciate that. Thank you. And then Roger, I can't hardly because of the report. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that was happening at first when I was learning how to do this. Still learning. And I'm watching Smoke and Scan on a different screen here. He's getting the sparks and all that. I don't know if we've gotten there yet. But things are heating up over there. No worries. Thank you. Who's that? The Battle. Yeah, thank you, The Battle. Oh, man. They put the pressure on you quick, bro. You gotta learn how to troubleshoot. Figure it out, right? Like they say. Figure it out. Yeah, there was a chase yesterday on a motorbike. It was super quick. I was ready to go. I was trying to hit record. By the time I was gonna do that, the bike chase kind of was over. Dude pulled over, gave up. Another biker actually pulled up, having nothing to do with him. And in that time, the CHP pulls up and draws his weapon and hems both of them up. So this guy that had nothing to do with it is also caught up in the big. So it was quite a mess. But yeah, didn't hear the end of that. But he was hitting like 100 and something, and no lights, and I don't know why he stopped all of a sudden. There was like no one really behind him. He could have totally gotten away. Whoa, there's some sparks happening on Smoke and Scan. Darn, I hope we're gonna get to see that here. Give me a second. All right, here we go. We're gonna catch up. We were behind, as I suspected. Here we go. There we go. Now we're caught up to the action. See, had to troubleshoot again there. All right, heads up. Suspect is going to be getting out here soon. Oh, man. All right, we're going to watch this. I could see Smoke and Scan's already gotten to the part where the vehicle's not moving anymore. So we're heads up. We're getting there. It's going to get cray also. So here we go. More sparks out of the truck there. And what is it? Tuesday night? Jeez. Think we're gonna have one all week. Well, it is hot. It was hot yesterday. So yesterday was what, 92, I believe we hit. Or that was today. Yesterday was a little less than 90, but today we hit the 90s. And tomorrow, oh yeah, there are the sparks. Here you go, Gustavo. Cuidado, que está chispeando la camioneta. Dragonfly, what's up? Grand Rising. Did you just get up? Happy Rising. Happy Grand Rising, Dragonfly. And here we go. We're about to, looks like we're exiting here. It was a nice, smooth change of lanes there. And yeah, you could probably light a spliff and chat with those sparks. Jeez. All right, door open and heads up. Damn, end of the freeway, homie. We're where's that? Where is our All right, just in case we need a cuss, there's that. We could censor ourselves. Damn, in the Denali. You're surprised they don't. Oh, they did the pit the other night, dude. They think we live streamed that, but I was using the phone. Looks like one suspect there. And I'm sure that's CHP. Yeah, CHP, they've been coming through lately and making a lot of the stops. And the other night we seen one. They were actually, it was the one that was here nearby. They went up to Luminarias, which is a restaurant right across the highway here. And the dudes went Dukes of Hazard. They went flying and eventually wrecked. And they two of them took off up the hill towards the restaurant. The other one went casually walking away. And yeah, I didn't hear the results of that. I'm sure they all got wrapped, but yeah, they tried. I think, was that one with the pit maneuver? Might have been. I'm all confused with the speed chases here. Anyway, so this is a wrap. Glad we caught that. Thank you, Smoke and Scan also. And then everyone else, we got CBS KCAL 9, and then we're watching this over on Live Police Chase in LA. Live Police Chases on YouTube. So, boom. That kind of pushed me to let's see. Go live tonight And yeah, let's get into some of this Bigfoot business. Why not? Where you at, Bigfoot? Oh yeah. So recently, so we're questioning, the question comes up, do they take people? Is there hybrids? Have they mated with humans? And there's been talks of weird cases like that. I heard one earlier today over on Bigfoot Society. A lady was talking about that she's seen one who was wearing jeans and flannel. I was wondering if it was a Pendleton. Wouldn't surprise me. Probably in Oregon. Um, yeah, weird stuff. We've heard stuff like that, like ripped shorts or ripped shirts that they wear, or some sort of clothing item. It's kind of weird, huh? Anyway, we could go on about that. But recently, there was a video put out by some new friends. I got to meet them in July. Yeah, they came down from Washington State over to Northern California. And yeah, they go by Salish Sasquatch on YouTube. The Browns. Yeah. So the Browns recently, salute to them. They recently put out a video of a particular case. You guys probably remember this. And what's up to anybody else in the chat, or if you're watching this later? Let's see, there was a case in December. Who remembers? It's two Bigfooters out of Oregon that had went up into, I believe it was Washington, up into the Gifford Pinchot. And the Gifford Pinchot is, you know, on my radar, not only for Bigfoot, but there's a lot of strange missing person cases out there. We've talked about it. I think we've brought it up in some of the lives. So to me, is one of those places like we got to check that place out. There's definitely stuff going on there. Well, these two guys decided to go check it out in December, and the story goes that supposedly they were, I think, just not really prepared. We're going for possibly a day trip, and weren't dressed for really the occasion, they say. I think there was like snow up there at the time. I mean, you could only imagine December, winter in Washington. I believe it's northern Washington too. Let's see if we could pull that news article up. And we did it several times before. Let's see here. Right here. Let's see. Share. Boom. All right. So that's a quick search of the case. I thought I had pulled up an article. Let's see here. Can I scroll down a little bit? Sure, there's some articles there. Yep. So there's a couple articles on the case. If anyone's interested or didn't know about it, I'm sure most of you know. Kind of went national, and that was like, like you read the headline there. They put Bigfoot Sasquatch in the headline because they were out there looking for the Bigfoots, the Sasquatches, and unfortunately they perished, and which was super sad, and yeah, it made me wonder what really happened, what could have happened. And of course, yeah, they said I believe exposure, they say here. And you know now I'm learning to question things a lot. Exposure to what? Exposure to the elements, exposure to some something else. I don't know, they didn't really say, but I think they did say weather. But yeah, no, I question it. uh and so yeah, and that was that. They didn't really say much about it, but then yeah, Salish Sasquatch put up a video, and they're up in Washington, so I guess they're not too far from this area. And I know some others that we were with on that trip in July headed up that way towards a bumping lake. I know Tate went up that way, and I was supposed to head up that way, but didn't make it. Next time. Um, and so yeah, they just talked to locals, and they went to the actual location. And let's see here. I did. Let's pull up their channel so you guys could see what we're talking about here. So YouTube, boom. And there it is, Salish Sasquatch. Let's scroll down here and see if we could pull up the video. And big up to them. You know, they featured me in their video of Northern California, Bluff Creek. And they were super interested in the thermal footage that my nephew got down here in Southern California and featured that. And so I was super honored, and yeah, big thank you to them. And let's see here, we're right here is the video. It's called Why Did They Split Up? So that's a video that we're talking about here. And if you're interested in what, what locals have to say about what happened there with these two guys that we're talking about from Oregon, check that video out there. It definitely is some insight, and I was, pretty surprised. And at the same time, I wasn't. So, and it just makes you think of, yeah, some of these people that go missing in these spots that we know Bigfoots have been around or may be around. And another case we had, I had brought up briefly, and a couple channels had featured it also. That's along these lines was it the Charles Levin case, I believe is his name. And he was an actor. He was known for acting and I believe some movies, Seinfeld. There's a list of shows that he was featured on. And then Flash of Beauty channel on YouTube featured the case. And I remember I had just gotten, it was probably a little while back, but I was back from the woods and checking out what was going on YouTube and everything. I had ran into that video, but did not fully pay attention to it. And then I noticed soon after there, maybe it was like a week or so after, uh, we were buffering there. And I don't know if he was inspired because of the Flash of Beauty putting that out there, but then he covered it. And then I watched it through David, and I was like, whoa, this is a strange one. And then right after I had, I think it was one or the other, I was watching the Flash of Beauty again, or before watching the David case. But I was like, whoa, there's these, and I was the same day. So I was like, oh, it's the same case that both of these channels are talking about here. So it really got my interest, and I started going in and digging. And yeah, there's news reports. There's also obviously there's news reports on this one here. And let's also check that out. So, because we like visuals. Let's see. Stop that there. So let's pull up a Flash of Beauty. So you could get that, because the Flash of Beauty version is way more detailed than David Politis is. And no offense, Mr. Politis. Uh, there was a lot more details, it seemed. And, there was locals involved there. So I always like to hear from the locals. Let's see. So Flash of Beauty channel, boom. Here we go. And that's the channel on YouTube. Getting all these messages here. Dang. Let's see. Let's scroll down a little bit. It's not too far down. Let's see. I believe it's Charles Levin. There it is. And homeboy right here, I forget his name. Actually, Llewellyn P, subscriber here on YouTube, shared in our community page. And I'll bring it up again. You guys could share pictures and stuff like that, links and everything on my post on my community page on my YouTube channel here. And we've had a couple people thus far share a couple things. So thank you to them. Yeah. Someone got the message. Yeah, come share your links and stuff and pics, anything pertaining maybe to some of the topics we're talking about, which Llewellyn P did. So if you check out right there, you can see a flash of beauty. Stan Avery is his name, and he has an amazing. I mean, the beard's not even out. He's got it in a big old braid, which is amazing. So rad beard there, bro. And so Llewellyn P shared a picture of the inside of Stan Avery's vehicle. He's got a, I guess, a super decked out. I forget what it is, but I hear it's super cool. And so she shared some pictures of that, and it was nice of her to do that. So thank you again, Llewellyn P. And again, y'all, don't be scared to share. Don't be shy to share. And so yeah, this is the mysterious death of Charles, and I believe it's Levin. So another one to check out, and it was just pretty. It was pretty gruesome. So if you got a squeamish stomach and or you know are high vibes all the time and can't take dark stuff, I wouldn't recommend it. But this again is a case where people locals believe that there was something weird. It wasn't just a normal accident. Um, and yeah, just the way he ended up, the where he ended up, how he ended up there, and his vehicle and his pet was just very, very strange. The location again. And yeah, you can look up at some of the news articles, which I did. And let's see, another great channel there, Flash of Beauty. I really like their Bluff Creek version of things. It was good because some of that weird stuff they were experiencing there, we experienced. So, or I experienced. Some of us did, and yeah, we got that a vid ready, y'all. Pretty much, just got to do some voiceovers on it, and we'll be getting that out real soon. It's getting closer and closer. So I'm excited about that and anxious. But yeah, let's check out. Let's see David's version here. And welcome to anyone in the chat here. We're just hanging out really quick, touching base, saying what's up. Caught a little speed chase earlier, and I could see Smoke and Scan here over on his channel. He's got a fatality on the freeway. It's looking real bad. Uh, Motorcycle versus looks like SUV or something. Bummer. Anyway, yeah, be careful out there, folks, on those highways and byways. Let's see here. Here we go. Can-Am Missing Project. Senor Politis. And let's see, videos. Let's scroll down to, there it is. So this was 2 weeks ago also. I think the Stan Avery, about 2.5, 3 maybe. And here's the case here. So second row, and you see David Politis presents a man and his car, and it goes, dot, dot, dot. So that's the case there. And it's the same case we're just talking about. So you could hear both versions. Check it out. And, super sad, weird, and kind of scary. But yeah. And with that, so I was checking that, it's getting this lined up, trying to present this last night, and it didn't happen. But here we are. And another channel, another YouTube channel, actually. And I did pull up the news sources for, let's see, let's pull something up for him right here. So some of you may recognize him. That's Charles Levin there. There you could get some more information on what happened to him. But like I said, that Flash of Beauty version was just amazing. It was in depth and just a mind blower. And you know, there's a lot. I think there's a lot more of these cases. There's several of them that we've touched on too, and we will again. But you know, there's with the internet, there's a lot of stories and stuff that people make up, and I'm sure people are using probably AI to get stories and stuff like that. And so it makes me wonder because I did come across there's another channel. I guess they changed their name, but it's a YouTube channel, and I've been a subscriber for a long time. But they just put out a video yesterday as I was getting all this together, and I was like, oh man, it's right along the same thing that we're talking about here about missing people and possible cryptid activity or Bigfoot or who knows, maybe alien UFO. But here it is. Yeah. So the Bigfoot Project, I guess that's what they changed it to because they had a different name before, if I'm not mistaken. And so they just put out this video here, and it's Emily Hart and Mark Ellison are missing. Is Bigfoot responsible? Bigfoot? I don't know. So I was like, all right, we're in the groove now with these missing and Bigfoot being involved possibly. And so I checked it out and I listened to it. It was very interesting. But then I tried getting some backstory on some of these cases. I couldn't find anything. So if anyone out there uh, knows of any of these cases and have any links or anything, you could send my way. Please do. I'd be super interested. Because I couldn't find anything on both of them. So I'm wondering if this was some real cases. I don't know. Hmm. So yeah, is Bigfoot taking people? Can Bigfoot take people? Are they? Have they? I think so. You're down to 5. Let's see. Is that where they marched his car down into the? Yes. Yes, Richard. You got that. Ucumar in Argentina. Is that how you say Bigfoot in Argentina, Gustavo? Checking out the chat here. Not. We got a few people hanging out. That's all we need. And let's see. So the Bigfoot mapping project, I've been also trying to keep up with that. There have been some new reports. We'll just have a little glance at what's lit up, and also BFRO's got a whole list since I've stopped doing the streams since my trip. I haven't been caught up with we're reading the reports here and stuff like that. So we will continue to do that eventually. I just want to I wanted to make sure I could still do this. A little rusty, but hey, we're doing it. Hopefully, it wouldn't scare off too many people. But yeah, looks like Utah, Oregon. See New York up here. Illinois. I don't know if that's Georgia there. Very near Georgia, but anyway, new reports coming in there over at the Bigfoot Mapping Project. So I'll be checking those out, and any of them stand out, we'll share them on the next live. And then BFRO got quite a few. There's one out of Ohio. I think it's the latest one. And I'll be catching up with these also. We'll do it together as well, because I do enjoy doing that. But as you can see here, look, quite a list there. Ohio, Missouri, Washington, South Carolina, Florida, on and on and on. So a lot new submitted reports, and maybe you guys check some of those out on your own. Come tap in with us, share some information. Maybe you have some reports going on in your area that you could elaborate on. Hey, we want to hear. And así lo llaman en el norte de Argentina, zona de montaña y selvas por algunos lados. Ay, mamá. Yeah, and then I've heard also, Gustavo, I thought the Patagones, I thought they were like also big feet, Sasquatch, but also a tribe of human, like human indigenous people from what is it, the from Patagonia, and then the actual Sasquatch Patagones. Yeah, we've talked about that one before too. Interesting videos also coming in from like Peru of these giant guys just running across ridges and down mountains and stuff. Pretty amazing. Anyway, yeah, all right, cool. We got a little more than a half hour in here. Not too bad. Almost 40 minutes. And I won't hold you all hostage any longer. And yeah, we'll continue to do this, folks. We'll see the next time we pop up and do this. Hopefully it won't be too late. Hopefully we'll give you a heads up, and hopefully we get that video out maybe this weekend or so. Thank you everyone for joining. And let's get a little outro music. DJ. All right, much love everyone. Stay safe, stay blessed. We out.
Thank you.